Howdy. Alright, I've had to pause slightly on this, but as I mentioned in the last video, the next thing that was on its way was this Profiber carbon fibre tank cover replacement to replace with that. I'm just going to put this down over here for a moment and come back to that. So in terms of actually fitting this tank cover is pretty simple. A couple of things that I'd forgotten from the last time I had this apart. In order to actually lift the tank, you need to take the emergency toolkit out from underneath here. I also want to highlight the fact that the emergency toolkit being there is the fucking dumbest thing that anyone has ever done, because you need to undo 2 Allen bolts to be able to get the seat off to get to said emergency repair kit. And guess what's in there? An Allen key that will undo those 2 bolts. So that's just dumb as hell. Right, back to this. So, original cover. You need to take the seat off because there are these fairing covers. So this is the bit that goes in here, which is just on this slide out hook, but it's actually screwed into this point here, which is underneath, hidden by the seat. So you've got to take that off to pull that out. It's 1 screw out and then slide it forward. All good. You need to take this bolt out here, which is on both sides, to be able to lift the tank, because it's actually attached to the frame there. And then there's a single screw that goes into here to get to the cover. Of course, you've got the main bolt that goes into the frame at the top there, and then here and here on the underside are 2 8mm bolts, so you need to take those off. So my advice is, unlike some of the weird shit that I've seen on YouTube recently, is don't undo these first, unscrew it at the top, and this is what I normally do, because I just can't be bothered to take petrol tanks off to be able to do stuff. But if I want to do anything air filter replacement or anything like that, I just do a little bit of a makeshift pulley. So run something through this hole up into your ceiling or whatever, or in my little quick hack here, bit of string tied to the rear seat lock bar, run it through, pull it up, voila. Undo the top nuts first, because as soon as you have undone those, this no longer is attached and you've got nothing to hold the tank up with. So undo them first, then undo these, and it just comes off, as you can see, like so. Now, let's talk about this Profiber case then. So first of all, we've got a nice bit of shielding foam pad running across the top here. And the reason why that's there is because, as you see, top of the airbox is exposed. It's just going to make sure it doesn't rub, and also keep it a bit protective. Makes total sense, right? And then there's a few just sort of little foam tabs along the edges, which you would expect. Introducing Profiber, absolutely fuck all. So I got to go out and buy some foam pads, because I'm not going to try and heat the glue up off of those and pull them apart. I know that I will end up completely screwing that up. And the second thing, of course, is these points, which we just talked about. So you see here, you've got screw points here, and then little grommet points, which match up with the end of the petrol tank. Screw point, grommet point. Back to the Pro Carbon Fibre. Again, fuck all. So I'm not sure how much of a difference that's going to make, but if I do fit this, and there's a reason why I'm saying if at the moment, that's going to be an issue. Let me put this back, and I'll come back to why I'm saying if I fit this. So just going to plop that there. The reason why I'm saying if I'm going to fit this is because you will notice, if you were to look down here at this little fella, you have a rubber grommet that's like, you know, spader that goes in the side of that, and then a metal collar that runs through there, which is what you then run the bolt through, screw it down. makes perfect sense, you know, stick something steel in for a bolt that needs to be secure. Here's my problem. So this is basically not gone through the machine properly. I don't know how these are actually made. I'm guessing there's you know, they've got a mould and they just wrap around the top of it and then shave it down. But as you can see, that hole has not been screwed. You can even see the outline there of the rough size of what the hole should have been. It's way off, way off. It's like 10-15 mil off all the way around, which means I can't get, not only can I not get the bolt through it at the moment, but I can't get the rubber grommet, and I can't get the collar through it. So I've just sent them a shitty email to go, what the hell? You can also see there's a little bit of, let me just put that down there. You see there's a scratch here, like you know, drill hole scratch. So that's also a bit crap. I can kind of let that slide a little bit if it wasn't for the fact that that's not there, and also the other parts on it. I think just generally speaking, like the finish on the holes, and one day they'll make a camera phone that actually focuses properly. I mean, it's okay, you know, they've been machined. I have checked, so like, which one is it? I think it's that one. So like that's the back bolt. It fits, you know. I'm not too worried about that. That's actually relatively loose in comparison to that, but you know, it's okay. But that quality of finish is a little bit crap. So I don't really know what to do at this point. I'm actually quite tempted. Well, I've just emailed them. I'm quite tempted to contact Jester Trick Bits, who I ordered it through. So they don't actually keep the stock themselves. They just place the order. They are a reseller in the UK for Profiber. But I've emailed Profiber directly and said, what's the deal? I don't really think that this is quite right, because it's missing the two underside bolts. But also, fuck have you done with that? Why should I drill this hole? Also, because I'm not entirely sure how to drill that hole. I probably need like a router or you know, a fine file, because the whole point with carbon fibre, of course, is that it's pretty strong. So that's going to take me some time, and I've also got to sort of get the rubber bits and everything. And when you think you're sort of like, you know, you're splurging out a bunch of cash on these kind of things, you expect them to be right. So that's where I'm at the moment. It means that it's probably not going to get done for this weekend. I won't be able to show you with it on. I mean, in terms of like just lining it and sighting it and stuff, it's fine. It's actually, it does look like it would be in the right place if I got the foam pads in and you know, it was bolted down. I think it will look quite nice, but we'll see.